volunteers in Taiwan tend to find survivors in the cities of New Taipei and Zhongli. We meet Zhou Xiaotian to see how he preserves his indigenous culture and passes it on to other young people. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. First up, in Taiwan, during the Lunar New Year holidays, 2 fires broke out in New Taipei City's Taishan district and Taoyuan's Zhongli city. Luckily, no casualties were reported. Upon learning of these disasters, city volunteers arrived to provide comfort and also prepared hot meals for the firefighters in Taishan district.
The factories lie ruined as smoke fills in the air. Firefighters are still on site to make sure the blaze is fully extinguished. Here in the Taishan district, New Taipei City, a fire ripped through 8 factories. Fortunately, no one was injured in the accident.
At that moment, I told them to save their kids first. But I didn't think of putting out the blaze. After they moved the kids to safety, the fire had already become too big to put out, and I didn't know what to do.
The fire brigade spent hours to quench the massive flames. Local city volunteers later prepared hot meals to thank the firefighters for their hard work.
Within 20 minutes, we had arrived at the fire to survey the needs of those affected. Because their power and water were out, we decided to prepare 200 hot meals to warm everyone's stomach.
I have witnessed how city volunteers and firefighters dedicated themselves to helping us. So I am glad to provide this venue for their use.
The cause of the fire is currently under investigation. However, one of the fire survivors said if they hadn't burned just paper, the fire could have been prevented.
Today, the fire happened because we burned just paper. I hope city brothers and sisters will continue their No Just Paper campaign. Such customs should stop right now.
On the morning of February 2nd, a house in Taoyuan's Zhongli was also in flames due to a faulty electric wire.
We arrived here at around 7:30 a.m. to care for the victims. Fortunately, there were no casualties. That's the most important thing. As for the damaged items, they can be replaced.
The unexpected fire ruined the New Year's festivities of the family. Thankfully, that same afternoon, 50 volunteers were mobilized to help the family clean up.
I feel sorry for them to have to face this during the holidays. No one wants to see such a tragedy. So I think we should help them clean up. You see, city volunteers are also here to help. Everyone is truly compassionate, wanting to help the less fortunate. City volunteers really demonstrated their team spirit. Look, we only spent a few hours, and now all the damaged items have been cleared away. Now the house is clean, and we are very happy.
Fire survivor Miss Cho was a former DaAi TV staff member. She said she's truly moved to see the volunteers join up to help.
When I worked at DaAi TV, I already experienced city volunteers' love towards those in need. However, today I can truly feel firsthand city's care and love, and I'm so grateful.
Though the family's holiday joy was ruined by the blaze, thankfully the volunteers' timely assistance will help them get through these most difficult times.
In Indonesia, following city's relief work in January for flood survivors in Manado of North Sulawesi, on February 3rd, despite it being the Chinese New Year, city volunteers from Jakarta, Singkawang and Makassar arrived in Manado to carry out the second wave of Cash for Work program. Dilapidated homes, debris-cluttered streets, and mud on the roadways is what Manado looks like 20 days following the flash floods. Although there appears to be improvements in the city's appearance, many villages are still covered in mud. Thus, city volunteers once again returned to start another Cash for Work program.
Contrary to what I expected, a lot more participants signed up for the program this time around. Some families even had 3 people come forth. But we want to provide equal opportunities for all, so we requested that each family only have 1 member take part in the program.
With the increase in manpower, many hands make light work, and in just one afternoon, an entire village was cleaned up. I'm very happy to hear that City Foundation is back in Manado to help us. We're all very happy to be able to take part in the Cash for Work program.
Masyarakat sangat bergembira, lalu datang lagi bekerja bersama-sama. Once the cleanup was completed, local residents gathered at the plaza to listen to the volunteers' introduction of Tzu Chi's 4 main missions. Volunteers also distributed cleaning supplies to help residents restore their homes.
We are all incredibly thankful for Tzu Chi's assistance. Currently, we don't have the means to repay Tzu Chi, but I hope one day, once I rebuild my home, I can reciprocate Tzu Chi's kindness.
Although the compensation for the Cash for Work program is not much, for these disaster survivors, the assistance couldn't have come at a better time.
Moving to Canada, after 3 months of renovation, the Tzu Chi Surrey office is finally open to the public. For the past 15 years, Tzu Chi volunteers in Surrey have been carrying out Tzu Chi's missions throughout the city, such as cooking hot meals for the homeless, providing scholarships for underprivileged students, and much more. Now finally having an office of their own, the volunteers vow to encourage more people to walk the Tzu Chi path.
After 15 years, Surrey Tzu Chi volunteers in Canada finally have a place to call home. A traditional line dance and a performance by the God of Wealth marks the opening of the Tzu Chi Surrey office.
With the help of everyone and cooperation from the city of Surrey, we finally received our permit. It was not easy, but we made it. I'm truly happy because everyone is happy.
The city of Surrey in the province of British Columbia is a part of the Greater Vancouver Regional District and is also the second largest city by population after the city of Vancouver. Currently, there are more than 800 volunteers in Surrey, and volunteers hope that with the establishment of this office, more locals can join their ranks.
We want more local people have a chance to know what our volunteers have done in the past 21 years for the community.
For the past 15 years, despite not having a Tzu Chi office in the area, Surrey Tzu Chi volunteers still insisted on carrying out Tzu Chi's missions, whether it was handing out scholarships to needy students or joining the Adopt a Street program. The volunteers' dedication deeply touched the hearts of local government officials.
Thank you for the help in the school children and the breakfast program. That is a really important program here in our city, and I'm absolutely honored to be here to celebrate with you the opening of the Surrey office. We are blessed to have you in our community, and may your good works continue.
Meanwhile, at the Surrey Tzu Chi Academy, volunteers and teachers put on a Lunar New Year celebration to make sure children from local Chinese communities remember their roots. As children receive red envelopes embedded with blessings, everyone hopes that the new year will be one filled with peace and prosperity.
Children from the remote countryside of Taiwan will often make their way to the cities in hopes of receiving better education. However, it is also a time when some will lose their sense of self-identity. In today's report, we meet a Trugu tribe member, Zhou Xiaotian, who decided to return to his tribe to learn about his indigenous culture and eventually inspired many young people like himself to perform traditional dances around Taiwan. Let's take a look.
My name is Zhou Xiaotian and I'm known to my tribe as Loki. Whenever I'm on the stage, I feel like my spirit has been summoned. My mom separated with my dad when I was still young. Being the only son, I spent most of my days with my grandma, not knowing what my future would be like. The days of studying in the West made me miss Hualien. I felt like I was different than others and that no one understood me. I didn't even know myself well. When we spoke in indigenous dialect, others would come over and ask if we spoke Mandarin and whether we lived in straw huts or rode a board to school. Later, when I visited Nantou, the birthplace of the Chuku tribe, I was inspired. That's right, I'm from a remote village and I grew up in a single-parent family, but so what? I want to pass on our indigenous culture. 2 years ago, I set up the DaAi workshop. The army say DaAi means workplace. It is where we gather to sing, dance, and laugh. I searched the internet for information on the different indigenous tribes in Taiwan and learned how to make their traditional outfits. This is all the information I have collected over the years. I spent all my pocket money on buying materials to make these clothes. This is Chuku, this is Sedik and Chuku, this is an Amis decoration, this is the Zhou tribe, this is for girls and that's for boys, this is for boys in the Paiwan tribe. I design dances and get everyone to learn together.
到时候你们是穿不同的族群服饰，那时候跳会真的很好看。后退，1、2、1、2、3、1、2。
当我知道他。
When I found out that he took lessons to learn about our culture during the summer holidays, I was really moved and I wanted to join him.
He used to fool around a lot and didn't like to study and would rather sleep. Today he is a complete changed person.
We always encourage him to finish his studies, but he said this is his hobby and interest. He said he wanted to learn about our indigenous culture.
This is our 60th show and it is also the first time Grandma came to watch our performance. Seeing the tourists and members of our tribe among the audience, I'm deeply moved because it means we have finally accomplished something. If someone asks me what I want to do when I grow up, I will definitely say I want to discover the passion for our indigenous culture in young people and inspire them to contribute towards our tribe.
Also trying to preserve the indigenous culture of traditional craft has been Song Meizhi in Hualien, who has spent the last decade learning from tribal elders and holding classes to teach those interested. Recently, Song's efforts were given a boost thanks to Tzu Chi, which opened up a weaving class in the nearby Suiyuan village. Here in the Chuku tribe, the sound of the loom early in the morning is the sound of upcoming happiness.
In the Chuku tribe, when a woman is to be married, she needs to weave a blanket for her child to be. It is part of the dowry.
Woven into the blanket are various geometric designs, each with a meaning that has been passed down from one generation to the next.
这个是彩虹桥，一般你除了在布面上会看到这些桥梯。
This is a rainbow bridge, and each of these sections here represent a stone step which allows you to walk along the bridge. Each tribe has its different weaves, they are all unique. For example, in the weavings of the Chuku tribe, you will always find their distinctive diamond designs.
However, this exquisite traditional art is now seldom seen, even in the tribe itself. To save the dying art, Song Meizhi has spent a decade learning techniques and stories from tribal elders.
I believe
that this art of our elders needs to be passed on, so I have studied with them as much as possible.
Although not accepting any payments for her teaching, for Song, the economics of it soon became unfeasible. Fortunately, Tzu Chi Foundation stepped in with a new space and new looms.
Using this loom, weaving is much easier and faster, so it is possible to start selling the fabric.
Today we give thanks to the Tzu Chi Foundation. Amitofo. Not sure if a pastor should be saying the Buddha's name, but there we go.
Irrespective of religion, Tzu Chi focuses on bettering lives, and thanks to its efforts, the craft of the Truku tribe will be around for decades to come. In Taiwan's Hualien, the New Dawn Care Center is a facility that accommodates mentally challenged children to empower its residents with the ability to live a life of independence. In 2008, the center set up a workshop where residents learn to make and sell handmade nougat biscuits as a way to make a living. Let's take a look.
Wearing smiles on their faces as they promote their products are residents at the New Dawn Educare Center, who now sell handmade nougat biscuits for a living.
Smile when you talk to customers. You cannot make a face. Just keep smiling. No?
The New Dawn Educare Center in Hualien is a facility that looks after those who suffer mental disability, Down syndrome, autism, and cerebral palsy. In 2008, the center established a workshop for some of its residents who are capable to make a living on their own.
Some residents are able to work, so they shouldn't be looked after forever. We hope that they can acquire working skills and get a pension after retirement instead of the government subsidies.
With regards to the initial training, the head trainer of the workshop designed a standard operating procedure that is simple and easy for residents to learn.
I designed an SOP for them. Since each box contains 15 biscuits, I taught them to put 5, 5, 4, and 1 biscuits into each box. This way they can easily remember the steps.
Currently, there are 24 employees working at the workshop, with 6 of them on the production line. Although automation could reduce the amount of manpower needed, the workshop insists on keeping the cookies handmade.
We don't want to see our manpower being replaced by machines. What we cared about is to give our residents job opportunities. I believe that for the disabled, if you give them working opportunities, you are doing much to help.
Cherishing this job opportunity, residents will continue their dedication to their work as they spread their blessings to the people across Taiwan.
With the start of the new semester on the horizons here in Taipei, the Environmental Protection Administration's second-hand book collection depot has now increased the number of books that can be exchanged to 6 for students and to 20 for children from disadvantaged families. Here's more.
Taipei City's Environmental Protection Administration-funded second-hand book depot offers a variety of second-hand textbooks and reference materials, all free of charge. And at the onset of a new school semester, the EPA has increased the number of books that can be exchanged.
For the start of a new semester, since a lot of children from poor families might not have the money to buy new reference books, we have changed the rules, and now students with the student card can take out 6 books, and those from low-income families can take out 20 books.
For those students or families wishing to avail themselves to the offer, they can either go to the Nehu Refurbished Furniture Exhibition Center to select the books personally, or they can apply for them online.
There are many different ways to get the books you need. All you need to do is send your request to the Taipei City Second-Hand Book Depot, and we will think of a way to get the books to you. You can use the internet, telephone, or mail to get in touch with us.
The second-hand book depot not only gives books a second lease on life, but also offer those unable to purchase new textbooks or reference books a level playing field when it comes to maximizing educational opportunities.
In Taiwan, the 22nd Annual Taipei International Book Exhibition kicked off on February 5th at the Taipei World Trade Center and will go on for 6 days. Rhythms Monthly is also at the fair, giving visitors young and old the opportunity to enjoy a wide selection of publications offered by this publishing branch of Tzu Chi. Let's take a look.
Introducing a wide range of cultural, historical, humanitarian, and environmental issues, Rhythms Monthly uses colorful pictures and in-depth reporting to attract readers.
This annual book fair is a big event for Rhythms Monthly. We incorporated each of our elements into the design of the booth.
At this year's Taipei International Book Exhibition, visitors to Rhythms Monthly's booth enjoy special promotional offers, workshops, as well as a Facebook check-in service.
This book has many in-depth reports. Children can learn something about the ecology of the blackface spoonbill.
Loved by not only adults but also youngsters, Rhythms Monthly leads and encourages its readers to explore this world as well as their own heart.
In our final report, we learn about Taiwanese architect Wang Dahong, who is considered by many as the spiritual leader of contemporary Taiwanese architecture. Many of Wang's work are now important city landmarks, including the National Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall, as well as the buildings that house the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
The hourly changing of the guards at the National Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall is an attraction that many tourists look forward to when visiting. However, when we ask tourists about their opinion on the building,
the building looks a bit Western, but you can still see some Chinese elements in it.
The National Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall was designed by Taiwanese architect Wang Dahong, who was born in Beijing in 1918. For many, Wang is considered the spiritual leader of Taiwanese architecture, and the National Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall in Taipei is seen as his crowning masterpiece. However, the design process was full of obstacles.
When Chiang Kai-shek saw the design of the Memorial Hall, he said it looked great, but very Western.
In fact, what Chiang Kai-shek meant was that the building did not have enough Chinese elements in it. Thankfully, some words from Sun Yat-sen's son, Sun Ke, solved the problem.
Sun Ke said to Chiang Kai-shek that since Sun Yat-sen overthrew the Qing dynasty, if Chiang wanted to build a memorial hall with styles similar to those found in the Qing dynasty, wouldn't that be going against Sun Yat-sen's philosophy?
After approval, the building went through 16 years of construction. However, the design of the south main entrance roof sparked another controversy.
Some people said that the one side that flips up represented revolution. Others said that it looked like a dress that got caught in the wind.
Despite the controversy that came along with the building of the hall, Wang Dahong never explained the reasons behind his design choices. However, Wang's style, even today, continues to influence young Taiwanese designers and architects.
We go to China at the end of today's show. During the Chinese New Year holidays, the City Suzhou grounds was packed with over 200 city volunteers from various regions who all celebrated the special occasion together. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.